Hello, hello everyone. Hello, hello. I'm just gonna make sure that this is recording because I am live and I don't want to stop. Yes, there you go. We are recording. So this is gonna be a cast between coRe and Give You Anxiety. Third game that I'm gonna analyze. I haven't analyzed the game in order of in which order did they happen live. I wanted to have a different approach to that in order to explain certain concepts in certain games. And there you go. So this one is going to be coRe versus Give You Anxiety. It's going to be on Holy Island. Holy Island, I'm spoiling you the result, but who cares? Holy Island, as I said, English by Give You Anxiety, and coRe is going to play the Holy Roman Empire. So English, a very good choice on this map, simply because they have the ability to go very quick on water and at the same time apply pressure on land thanks to longbows. So overall, a very solid pick. Pretty much the same thing with the HRE. Thanks to their eco boost, they're able to both compete on water and hold on land, also because they have cheaper emplacements. So it allows them to basically fight on both fronts quite efficiently, and this map really requires you to fight on both fronts. So both of these civs pretty good at doing so. So there you go. So as we can see, they are both going to go into a dock first. Give You Anxiety is going to be the first one to move onto a dock, and coRe is going to be the second one. coRe is going for a safe dock very far away from his fishing co, which I'm really not a fan of. Basically, what he's fearing is a man-at-arm rush. That's what he fears, okay? Scout! Try to scout it. I know that there are a lot of ships on this map and that you want to secure them. I think, by the way, that... Oh no, GUA hasn't done much better job at it. But basically, scout. Make sure that is my opponent on going for that game plan or not. All you need to do is bring your scout around here. You see how many villagers are under the TC, and suddenly you know. So, for example, investing into a safe dock, and now coRe is also going to invest into walls like this. There is nothing on the opponent's side. So do not guess. Get the information you need in order to not put yourself behind because you're afraid. Okay, get the information you need. That's really, really important. If you cannot get this information, then you have to take a gamble. Okay, that I understand. But the information is accessible right there. Take it. Okay, that's really, really important. Take the information. So you can see GUA is going to be miles ahead. He already has his second boat that is coming out, while his opponent isn't. His boats are going to have a way shorter travel time to the dock, so he's going to be behind on that front. Also, English tend to start with a lot more resources in the Dark Age than the Holy Roman Empire. So the Holy Roman Empire is going to be behind on the end-job time, which means the first Hulk is going to come out from from Give You Anxiety dock. Okay, that's the most important thing. Which player is going to get the first Hulk onto the field? What you want first is an Hulk, then you want an Archer chip, and then you want potentially a second Hulk. But the first Hulk is extremely important. Why is that? Because you don't fear really that much when you go for a first Hulk. The counter is basically another Hulk or a demo ship. But if a demo ship strikes you, it cannot one-shot you. So you can always go back to your base, and by the time a second demo ship comes out, you have an Archer chip. Okay, so always start with an Hulk at the beginning, like simply because it makes sense. So both players are gonna go through this Dark Age. They're gonna try to gather as many resources as they can. As we can see, 4 fishing boats on the side of coRe, 5 already on the side of GUA. Let me try to do something. No, it's not that, it's that. There you go. So GUA is on the correct side now. And there you go. So GUA is engine up, coRe isn't yet, and as we can see, GUA is going for a console hold. What is the console hold gonna enable him to do? It's gonna enable him to go like free for like a few longbows. Usually we go for free, and that way you can put damage onto this onto the wood line, and by doing damage onto the wood line, you deny your opponent the ability to train more ships. Okay, so that's what he's looking to do. At the same time, you want to macro for an Hulk. Okay, Hulk, 3 longbow. That's really the goal. So we want to see an Hulk. We are seeing too many longbowmen, and we are not seeing an Hulk. So for example, right there, he has gone for 9 fishing boats. Okay, don't go for 9. Go for 8 fishing boats. But that way you secure an Hulk. You see he's going for 10 fishing boat. Stop greeding. Go for an Hulk. Okay, and go for your 3 archers. So the 3 archers should be out on the map if I can find them. Yes, there you go. They are here. They're on the map. A 4th one is moving up. Okay, you don't need that many archers. You don't need 4 archers. You just need the little 3. Okay, 3 archers are going to be way enough to deal some damage here. We can see a stable is forced from that. And there you go. The archers are now denying the wood. The thing is, GUA is not using that advantage in order to like take real control of the sea. Okay? He's not taking real control of the sea. We can see he has gone for a galley first. As I said, you should go for an Hulk first and then a galley. Start doing damage, start denying this. This is going on. What is the win con of coRe at this point? The win con of coRe at this point is to basically survive all of that pressure and make sure that he can reach the castle edge. As soon as he's castle edge, if he has some sort of food eco either on water or still on land by having enough ships, and there are a lot of ships on this map, he can go for Burgrave and absolutely demolish the English player. So the English player, his win con is to contest the water as fast as possible. And that's not what he is doing. So he's playing against his win condition by delaying the water play too much. Basically, if you delay the water play, sure, your opponent can go to castle edge, but he has to do it with his ships. Then he doesn't have enough ships to sustain the Burgrave. Okay, that's really what it is about. Okay, guys, that's what it is about. So the second Hulk is finally coming. I would like to see a second galley at that point and a third Hulk. And that's it. And from there, you stop investing into that water. Also, we have seen some horsemen. You do not need to invest. Okay. So what GUA is doing right now is investing into horsemen himself. Does he need to? Remember, what is the win condition? Denying this water, okay, while denying the water and basically delaying the castle edge. That's the win condition. Are those stable achieving anything towards that goal? No, they are not. Okay? You want to go castle edge yourself, by the way, because you are going to have to fight against the Burgrave. So you need to deny the water, delay the castle edge, and go castle edge yourself. What horsemen are doing, they are not delaying, they are not contesting the water. They are not delaying the castle edge in any way because they cannot contest any of the resources that matter for castle edge, which are the food on water, the food on land, or the gold. And they are delaying you from going castle edge yourself because they cost a lot of food. Okay, guys? So right now, as we can see, coRe still has some sort of eco on the sea. He is going castle edge, as you can see, and he is very close to it. And meanwhile, Give You Anxiety is investing into horsemen that I can already tell you are gonna do absolutely nothing. Because they cannot deny the resources that matter. Okay? At that point, coRe should stop investing into water. He doesn't need water anymore. Okay? He has enough ships, he has some berries that are secured. All he needs to do right now is go castle edge and go Burgrave. Okay? He doesn't need the water. He doesn't. So that's an Hulk and a galley again in order to defend. And we can see that now Give You Anxiety is going to invest quite heavily actually into the water himself in order to deny all of this. Feels a bit late though, and that's really the issue. It feels extremely late because that's it. His opponent is gonna click. And you can see GUA is very far away from clicking because he is investing in order to deny this. But that's too late. That's really too late. On top of that, GUA is quite mismacroing on water. So as you can see, the main mistake here from GUA is to not prioritizing properly his actions. Like, he hasn't put enough emphasis an early game on dealing damage to the eco of his opponent. He spent too much resources on trying to build his own eco with enough fishing ships. Going up to 10 fishing ships, overkill. Don't go to 10. Stay at 8, get a Hulk earlier. I cannot stress this enough. You can see that the horsemen have dealt absolutely zero damage. They have achieved absolutely nothing because those horsemen anyway are never gonna push into an English base. Ever. They cannot. Okay? All you want to do is secure your own base. That's what the HRE players want to do. That's why you can see this wall. That's why you can see this tower here. And that's why there are those stables in order to push out to scare basically the longbows. Okay? From there, your opponent has invested into all of this. Be happy as an English player. What you want to do is kill this. So we can see coRe is now reaching the castle age, and now GUA is in a world of trouble. Simply because he's very far from castle age. He has absolutely zero answers against men at arms in the age he is in. And coRe should aim to secure his upgrades quite quickly now. He needs to get a blacksmith ASAP. He has the resources. There you go. Thank you. Thank you, mate. Yes. He needs to go his blacksmith. He needs to grab +1 defense, range defense, +1 the movement speed buff, and all of this. A little bit lack of anticipation, I would say, from coRe, because he should have started this blacksmith and those upgrades as he was edging up. Basically, that's the goal. So now he's wasting money on water. Don't waste money on water. You don't need that water anymore, because now you have supremacy over the land. And that's all that matters. Okay, so now he's wasting money. Every demo ship here, 80 gold. This, 30 gold. So he has lost gold for no reason. What you want gold for is for this. It is for this. Okay? And now, all coRe needs to do, he needs to rush into his opponent base and deny the gold. That's it. If Give You Anxiety cannot get his gold, he is not gonna edge up. Okay? That's about it. You want to deny the gold. Okay? Give You Anxiety on his side should recognize that's the situation. I need to stop investing into any form of things that cost gold, and I should go as fast as possible into the castle age. As fast as possible. By the way, once again, I am not against this, trying to retake control of the water slowly but surely. But what you have to understand is that you do not need to invest into that right now. What is the priority right now? It is idling this. And we can see that coRe is not going in the proper direction. You need to go on this. This is the cookie jar. Like, not the cookie jar. This is the price. This is what you're looking for, okay? You're not looking for this. This, pointless. Wood, get all the fucking wood you want. What you want is this, okay? You want to deny this gold. Of course, he's doing eco damage, so it's not bad. There you go. Finally, the men-at-arms are going on to the gold, and that's what we want to see. If your opponent is forced into making a market and then trading, that's good. He's losing resources. So there we go. We can see the men-at-arms with their +1 defense. They are never going to die to this. The +2 should be coming shortly. There you go. And for example, now that you are completely idling your opponent eco and stuff, now is the moment I would like you to invest into water and try to resecure water. Like, this is the moment. Get an upgrade into your dock. There are a few upgrades that you can get, and so that way you can retake of the control of water a lot easier. Like, for example, the Springald upgrade on your hulks, that is going to allow you to win the water fights a lot more, stuff like this. So there we go on the wood line. Now GUA is still trying to edge up, not managing to do so because he's under too much pressure. At that point, as core, what you need to do is to be aware, okay, my opponent is starting to edge, is trying to edge up. I need to deny this edge up. As long as my opponent is not edging up, he's gonna lose. Okay, what do I need? I need vision. I don't see any scouts on core side. I really think it's important that he gets some scouts. He shouldn't leave this. He shouldn't leave this. Because this, here there is a gold. So a gold means an edge up. And that's a position in which your opponent would like to edge up with many deals. So you need to keep the pressure on both fronts. Okay? You shouldn't just abandon those deals here. Yeah, like, you don't need all your men at arms. You just keep 3 on this, and that's it. 3 men at arms on this, the rest here, and that's it. You do exactly the same, but your opponent cannot touch up. Now we can see GUA with the proper response. He's trying to basically force his opponent back into his base. Sadly, it's really not going to work because you cannot dive with those horsemen, so it's not going to work, and his opponent is just going to ignore. I really think sieging this is a mistake, though. You shouldn't aim to siege this. You should aim to deny, once again, the edge up. The edge up is the only thing that matters, okay? The only thing that matters at this point of the game is the edge up. Deny the edge up. So right now, Give You Anxiety is allowed to edge up, and from there he can get into knights. So obviously the knights are not that good of a counter at this point because the HRE has the mace upgrade. Mace upgrade makes it so they deal extra damage versus how are they called? Armored units. So all he needs to do is grab his mace upgrade. He hasn't got it yet, but as his opponent is switching Castle Edge, I think he should go for it. Behind that, very good play by coRe. He's slowly getting the resources on the map, which means the relics, etc, etc. It is fine that he doesn't go for the relics earlier, guys. Completely fine. Why is it fine? Because he doesn't need them. What he needs is to force his opponent out of Castle Edge. Okay? I hope you enjoyed this game, guys. I hope you enjoyed this cast. This one was a little bit less analytical. But because there is less to say on what I said in the previous 2 videos, the big thing here is the understanding of the win condition. I really think GUA missed the mark on understanding what the win condition were for him and what the win condition of coRe were. Okay? Basically, he went for the wrong priority at the wrong time, while coRe went for the correct priority at the correct time. What I mean by this, the initiative, like, let's remember, the control of the game plan and the initiative were on GUA side in the feudal age, okay, and that's normal. It's because his civ is giving priority, like the civ choice is making it so he has priority. Plus, coRe went from too safe of an opponent, giving even more initiative, even more priority to his opponent, and that was a mistake from coRe. But what GUA did is that as he reached feudal age, he went for more eco. Your goal is not to go for more eco. Your goal is to deny the food of your opponent. If you can make 2 more fishing ships, you make 2 more fishing ships. So compared to your opponent, you are getting 2 fishing ships. Now, imagine that you are making a Hulk, and suddenly your opponent cannot gather with fishing ships. You are not gaining 2 fishing ships, but your opponent is losing 6 or 7. You understand that this is a way better trade for you, and that's what, like, GUA failed to do in this game. Basically, he overinvested into his own economy and lose sight of, hey, I can and I must deal damage to my opponent right now, and that's why he loses this game. Okay, so basically that's it. And from there, like, he slowly loses the initiative because his opponent was able to secure a Castle Edge. And in Castle Edge, that's exactly the opposite. Like, it's no longer the English that has initiative, it is the HRE. Why? Because they have the double grave. And from there, coRe did almost exactly what he had to do, which is idle his opponent, idle his gold, make sure to deny the edge up for as long as possible, make it impossible to edge up for his opponent. From there is literally nothing that coRe can do. If he tries to raid, his opponent can make knight, he has only horsemen, so he loses. If he tries to defend into his base, he has nothing in order to deal with the Men-at-Arms mass. If he tries to go on the water, it's not going to be enough, let's be real, because at one point the push is going to come from the land onto your water, and your landmarks are on land. So you need to defend your landmarks. So water is not going to be enough. So basically, as long as coRe is keeping his opponent into the feudal age, he's going to win. That's exactly what he did. Good job, coRe. Well done. Very well done on that game. coRe really understanding what he needs to do. The only thing I would say to him is, do not go for that safe of an opening if you don't scout anything. This, like, the Men-at-Arms rush is easy to scout. It is easy to see coming. So get your scout forward. Get the information. Is my opponent going for this? If he is not, go for a more aggressive dock. Get more value from it. Okay, get more value from the positioning of your dock instead of playing that safe. That's the only thing that I would say. I hope, guys, that you enjoyed this video. That's going to be the last one for today. I think I'm going to stop there. Those are the 3 matches that I wanted to analyze. There is one that I cannot because I don't have access to the game. And there is another one that was an Abbasid Mirror that, in my opinion, wasn't as interesting. To be fair, I'm probably not going to cast it. So there you go. coRe won this exchange, but like, as you can see, there are a lot of mistakes that are done on both sides. From GUA side, honestly, it is. I think it's easier to correct from GUA side because very often he has the initiative, he's taking the initiative, and it is just that he doesn't use his initiative properly in the early feudal age. He basically gives back the initiative to his opponent, which is, I think, a lot easier to fix. On coRe side, it's going to be a bit more difficult because he's playing more reactive sieves, and so you have a lot more to do when you play reactive sieves. As I said, you have to keep your front safe while you try to distract your opponents on the sides and stuff like this. So yeah, overall, I would say I think GUA is going to be easier to fix his mistakes, the mistakes that he's doing on this side than it is going to be on coRe side, because coRe is playing more reactive sieves, basically. So I hope you enjoyed those casts, guys. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, like and subscribe. Join me for my next casting session that's going to be live, very likely on the weekend, exactly like I did right there. Saturday or Sunday morning, I don't know yet. It will depend. But yeah, there you go. I hope you enjoyed. See you guys for the next one, and until then, have a good time. Bye bye.